We take you back out to the line, and our final pair. Look at this. Melanie Troxel and Ashley Force. Melanie Troxel continues that tribute to our forces all around the world, and by the way, being watched on the American Forces Network around the world. And we want to take you back because look at this run with Tim Wilkerson just a few minutes ago while we were away.
This is what the ladies are going to have to shoot for. Tim Wilkerson makes a fantastic run to get that #1 position, a 4:74 laps time at 326 miles per hour. Remember when we started this session, Melanie Troxel was #1, Ashley was #3. Right now, that number they got to shoot for is a 4:74 laps time. The track conditions are there, but man, that's an awfully good run. It's going to be tough to beat.
And that run for Tim Wilkerson was the low ET of the season. So here comes Ashley Force, who has the largest points lead of any driver in all 4 classes, coming off that win at Atlanta.
And you saw on that graphic of the 4 professional categories, only funny car has no woman getting that #1 position. Melanie Troxel looked pretty good until that cold front moved in, and then everybody was able to step up. But that doesn't mean that neither one of these drivers can step up also and try to take it away from Tim. But like I said, it's going to be awfully tough because that was a very good pass.
Melanie's done. And Ashley, a 488. Nope. That doesn't help at all. It's Tim Wilkerson that remains #1. Troxel remains 6th, and Ashley remains 8th. Let's go to Dave Reef. He's got John Force.
You bet. One very proud father after his daughter became the first female to win in funny car. John, we were just reliving it right now. A lot of chaos up there. The car stopped, got pushed back. When it was all said and done, though, you did have a 170 reaction time, and there have been some talk that maybe you helped her into that win. How about it?
Yeah, well, that's part of the game, and no, I can definitely say no. You can ask Austin Coyle. Bottom line, you have to earn the right to win a race, and that kid actually, she earned the right. And you know what? It started years ago when she started driving that fuel funny car, and she lived through the loss of Eric Medlin. She lived through my crash, through her own crashes. She's done everything that she's had to do to get there, and she won those rounds, and she got to that final, and she won. As far as the light goes, yeah, I was a little off on my light, and maybe because my daughter's over there in that lane, maybe my focus, like I've always said, when you race your own drivers, it's the hardest because you have to get up to beat them. And that day, we couldn't lose. Now, I wanted it for the 1,000th win on number 500 race. That would have been cool, but she needed it for the women out there in this sport, and she got it, she earned it, and that's the way it is.
14 championships, 125 national event wins, 500 races. Where does her first national event win fit in your resume?
I didn't know it at first. I was a little aggravated because I told Austin, I know I looked aggravated on TV. I at least wanted to give her a race for her money. We never thought we could get over in the hump. If you looked, Robert lost in the left lane. Mike Neff, my other car, lost in the left lane. I was winning all day in the right lane. And then Ashley gets lane choice, shoves me over. So we knew what she was going to run. 82 that she ran was like the second quickest run of the event there. So, hey, I lost, took my whipping, and I went home. And but at the end, I was really proud for her. And you know what? Out of all my wins, even though I didn't win, that was my greatest win because that's my kid.
On the bump right now, trying to stay in the field at race number 501.
Yeah, and therein lies the problem as they have to get Shawn Gann back out of the sand at the end of the track. And we'll show you how he got there.
Take another look at it. Obviously, there's no parachutes on the pro stock motorcycles. They usually have the brakes. I mean, they're light, but you can see him pumping the brake. Obviously, he had very little or no brakes at all. Did the right thing. The only thing he could do, put her in the sand. That sand safely brought that bike to a stop.
And Craig Treble with that run was able to move up to 8th. Well, there's John Force doing what he does second best behind driving a funny car, and that's interact with the fans. One of the great things about NHRA drag racing is all the fans in the pits. He's acting pretty confident. He's got to be nervous. He's on the bump.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, this That's what happens when you run it off the end. You get all kinds of junk that you're later going to have to clean off of your motorcycle. Shawn Gann, who still seems to be a little color challenged on how he's putting helmet, bike, and everything. But the bike, he says, is just like his first one ever. He's reliving his childhood.
Well, Shawn Gann got himself some gravel up in the bodywork here that he's got to take care of. What happened in that situation?
I got going. The wind caught me, and I was a little slow getting on them. Not bad. They just started to fade. It's kind of odd. Not really sure.
Let me also ask you about a situation where I know you've been frustrated here in the last couple of weeks. You've developed some new heads for these bikes, which you thought you were going to be able to incorporate maybe starting at this race. NHRA has said no go at this point. Can you briefly summarize that situation?
Well, it's one of those things where Suzuki's not the official motorcycle of the NHRA, and in that position, I would think that we don't exactly get the luxury of Harley-Davidson, which means I don't think that things are as favorable for us as they would be a Harley-Davidson.
Shawn has told me that he thought he had an extra 5 horsepower there. He had better durability. It's about a $15,000 package. He's put $75,000, the family money, built this in the backyard. It hasn't worked.